Hey, how's everyone doing today? It's CJ Halleck, cjhalleck.com, and basically put over the last few weeks, months, really, since I started putting out all my books, I started getting a lot of people sending me messages or asking me in person or text or calling or whatever the case may be, asking if I would help them get their book published. So basically put, long story short, I wanted to be able to show you guys my process and how I put my books out, but I wanted to do it in a way that it doesn't bore you and you're not watching like 4 or 5 hours of video or reading a 5,000 word blog post on how to put it together. So basically put, I'm at the whiteboard because I had an idea for a book last night. For those of you who know me, who follow me online, you might remember I have been working a lot and putting a lot of stuff up about morning priming. I did a massive blog post on cjhalleck.com about morning rituals and things to do in the morning, and that's one of the main questions I had in the Conversations podcast, where I was talking to people. I interviewed professional basketball players and professional comedians and doctors and just a whole bunch of different people, and everyone's morning routine may vary a little bit, but the successful people all have basically the same routine. So looking at all this different stuff, I keep putting out all this different things, and one of the things in the morning that really means a lot, in my opinion, is the priming. So instead of just trying to throw something together to throw it together, I wanted to do a morning workbook, I guess would be the best way to word it, that just basically gets you to brain dump all your thoughts on paper and go over some things to help prime you for the day. Some moments of gratitude, being thankful for what you actually have, things of that nature. So I'm going to go over a rundown on how I do my books. So basically, of course, at first you have the idea. And you're going to start with the idea, and I hope you guys can see this. I know, it's a finer print marker, but basically you start with the idea. You mind map the idea, and what I mean by mind map the idea is you basically break down how you're going to structure your book, what's going to be in your book, all that stuff. Once you have a good understanding of your book, and I'm going to fast forward some stuff in this, or skip ahead here and there, because this entire process I'm going to try to do in a matter of like an hour to hour and a half. So basically, once you mind map your idea, you're going to work on the content. You're going to go to Create Space, create an account with Create Space, start a new book. Once you start the new book, then you're going to download the template, put the book together. For the interior, and you're also going to be doing the cover. And then once you finish that, you're going to be, make sure you guys can still see this, you're going to be submitting it for publication. And basically it seems simple, and that's because it is. And that's basically the structure. And once you submit it, you basically wait for them to review the book, make sure the files are right for print, make sure that the cover's good, the spine lines up, all that fun stuff. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do everything step for step. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have a page full of notes. I'm back. Page full of notes of some stuff that I'm going to be working on to put into the planner. Still working on what I'm going to call it. But basically, it's going to be a daily priming exercise workbook type thing. So I'm still working on the name. We'll get the name figured out. It's going to be under the Got Hush brand. So basically, going to go through and show you guys how I put my books together, how we're going to cover design the cover, get it submitted, get the first book in, and follow along. We'll see you in a sec. Okay, so we are on the desktop, and I got this article pulled up for a reason. I just wanted to show you guys. Basically, I'm using the Tony Robbins priming mindset. So we're going to basically go over the 8 steps for the 10-minute exercise, and I'm going to find a way to, if you will, put each of these into a daily workbook so we can actually get everything together in a way that you can actually go through the process and do a couple extra things and whatnot, all within this planner. So basically in order to get started, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to leave this open here, and I'm going to get started by going to createspace.com, and I'm going to go ahead and log in. If you do not have an account yet, it's very easy. Just click sign up, and I'll go through the steps. You just basically put in your information and click create my account. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay in advance to get your books published. All you have to do is set your prices, and then as long as you're setting your prices high enough to cover the cost, it'll go straight through Amazon. They'll publish it, they'll ship it, they'll do everything for you, and you won't have to touch a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And I got all the books I'm working on and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and add a new title, and I'm going to go ahead and call this the Hush Priming Planner. All right, so I'm going to, like I said, Hush Priming Planner. We're going to make it a paperback, and we're going to go ahead and go get started on the guided section. So now we're going to go in, we're going to do primary author. The book is not part of a series, no edition number, no publication date. We're going to click save and continue. We're going to do free create space assigned ISBN and click assign free ISBN. These are going to be your ISBN numbers. So what I would recommend doing is I'm going to actually go in here and grab a notepad, and I'm going to go ahead and copy these and put them in the notepad. So that way they already have, so you already have them in a section where you can go ahead and grab them. We're going to need to put these into the book as we put the book together. So we're going to go ahead and click continue now that we have those copied over into a section. And then you're going to choose the book size you want, interior type, and paper color. I'm going to go ahead and stay with black and white on white paper, and I'm going to choose a different size, and we're going to actually go 8.5 by 11. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is get your template. So we're going to go ahead and download the formatted template. That's going to download a Word document that when you open it, you see how it sits. It's got the margins. If you look at this, you can see the difference where this one lines up more to the right and this one looks like it aligns a little to the left. What that means and what that does is, if you think about it, this is where the spine of the book will be. The side that has the bigger margin, like whatever side has the bigger margin, is where the spine is going to be. And if you think about it, as you open your cover, this is going to be the first page that you see. Some people like having content there. Some people don't. It's totally up to you. I know with the Hush Success Planner, I'm going to actually open this up. As soon as you open it, the very first thing I have in the Success Planner is the Hush logo, and then the powered by CJ Halleck down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by putting this together. All right, so I had to go back and I'm starting over. Had some issues with some stuff I was working on. So basically this is the template that you're going to get from CreateSpace. It's got all the information in, page numbers, all that fun stuff. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to come through and we're going to do insert footer, and we're going to click all. This is going to go ahead and remove the footer, and this is OpenOffice, if you're wondering the software I'm using. And that way, if you go through, you'll notice all of the footers are gone. And then now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do insert and go to header and click all, and that's going to delete that content as well. So now that I have that done, the few things I'm going to do moving forward is to make sure that I remove all of the content that I don't need, and that is going to be all of it. So I'm going to come through here, we're going to delete everything, and I'm going to come back up. Well, not everything, I left a couple pages in here. right? So I left the title page, which we're going to work on in a second. Then I have the next page, which is going to have all the copyright information and our ISBN numbers. And then we have the dedication, and the rest is going to be the content that we're going to create moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to remove the dedication, and I'm going to go ahead and we're putting this one down to the bottom. Alright, so once we get this to the bottom, the next thing we're going to do is customize this. So we're going to make it 2018, change the author name to CJ Halleck. I'm going to put in www.gothush.com. We're going to back this up to get the ISBN numbers there. I got our ISBN numbers on the notepad that we copied and pasted earlier. So we're going to go ahead and paste these in. I like doing it in the order they gave it to me. I don't know if that necessarily is a big deal, but since they gave it to me in that order, that's how I'm putting it in. So basically, I'm going to look at this the way I'm looking at the Success Planner. First page is going to be, or the first page here is going to be the very first page you see when you open up the cover. So some people decide, some people like having the front page blank. If I'm doing an actual book like the Stay Boosted book or the, Reach for the Stars or one of those, I normally keep the first page blank. For this, because it's not a book, I'm going to be planning on people to look at the content. I'm going to make this our very first page. So I'm going to start by removing the book title. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to insert a picture, which is going to be the header, type thing, if you will, logo for the planner. It's going to automatically make it full width, so it's up to you if you want to change it. I'm going to go ahead and not do that because let's undo. Alright, because it changed the size, so what you need to do is hold down Shift as you actually drag this, and this will keep it, no matter how you move the mouse, it'll keep it with the same portions or whatever, so you can make sure that it doesn't if you will, stretch it, make it taller or wider than it should be. So I'm going to change this, and we're going to put by CJ Halleck, and then we're going to do powered by gothush.com. And of course it didn't save it, so we're just going to do hush.com. Alright. So the next thing, we're going to come down and look. We got the cover page, we have the copyright page, and now we're looking into getting our content. I'm going to leave the next page blank. This is going to be, because the way it works, I want to have a notes page with every one of the planner pages. And since this is going to be on the left side of this page, I'm going to leave this one blank. And then we're going to start with this page. We're going to put in lines. This page, we're going to actually be working on the design of the actual planner. So for right now, to keep this, proper, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make sure we click Justify. And then we're going to literally come in here and put some line breaks. We're going to hit Enter. That's going to give us this solid line, so we can actually create, if you will, lined paper. So we're going to come through, and I'm going to just go ahead and put this down. Let's actually, and we're going to the end here, and I'm going to break it with notes. And this is just the headline on this page, so we're going to make this 18. And these are set. You can look at the spacing and see how how your spacing is set. So we're going to come down. I'm going to select all of these, and we're going to look at how the spacing is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that. Make sure we get it the way we want it. All right, so we got the full page done. So now we're just going to back up. All right, make sure we get that. We're going to come down here, and then I'm going to start by working on how I want this laid out. So I'm going to start similar to what I did with the Success Planner. We're going to start by a 2-panel column. So we're going to come this way and we're going to do this. Now that we have this done, and sorry, getting a message, just had to check, make sure there was nothing important I needed to look at. So once you have this done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bring this over to about right here, and right here I'm going to leave this empty for a affirmation of the day. Alright, so and this I'm going to go ahead and work on the formatting for this. So once I come in and ready to change this out, it'll be ready to go. There we go. So now let's go a little bit larger. Alright, and then we're going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and put in a section for the date. Alright, so now that I have that section done, I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. So let's go 15, I think is what I chose with this one. Yes, 15. And I'm going to go ahead and make this bold so it matches in a way with this one. So now that I have that section, the next thing I want to work on is, if I come back, I wanted to work on the based off of, like I said, the Tony Robbins priming exercise. So we're going to look at this in a few different ways. So the first thing I want to do is the importance of sitting in a positive, manner with your, head up, shoulders back, all that stuff. So that's going to be something when I come in here, it's not something I don't feel like it's something I need to say, find a spot, sit with you. So we're just going to start, I'm going to go ahead and skip the sit process. And the next thing is going to be breathing exercise and stuff like that. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into the tables here. And we're going to do begin heart breathing. Practice gratitude is the 4 steps. So basically I'm going to do these first 3, the sit, breathe, and heart breathing. And I'm going to do them in a 3 section across the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 boxes across the top and just like that. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put sit in comfortable position with both feet on the floor, shoulders back, chest up, neck long, and head high. Alright, and then underneath it, I'm going to go ahead and put in a special character. And I'm going to look for something I can use as a checkbox. So I'm going to look for a square of some sort that we can use for like a tick box. And there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. And we're going to enter that in. So that way they can actually check it off when they're finished. And I'm going to go ahead and put a spot next to it for you to initial. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to copy this, and we're going to go ahead and bring it in each of the sections. So the next thing we're going to be doing is change your breathing pattern. Do 3 exercises sets of 30 breaths each with a 1-minute break in between. All right, so we have, and I'm going to go ahead and change this out. We're going to go ahead and go 3 sets of 30. All right, so we have this section done. Now we need to do the next section, which is going to be heart breathing. And I'm going to go ahead and put your hands on your chest to feel your heartbeat. Feel the strength and power of your heart. Be grateful for as long as it beats, you live. There we go. All right, and since I did that, I'm going to go ahead and drop these down one more. That's what I thought. Trying to get these even, and for some reason this isn't working. So I got these done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and feel the power. Let's go ahead and bring this back. There we go. So now that I have that done, I'm going to actually go and sit proper, put in headlines or headers for each section. That way we make sure we get everything right. So it's sit proper, breathe, or breath, whatever. Breathe, I don't know. Make this bold. We're going to move to the next one. We're going to go ahead and put it bold right now, and we're going to put heart. Breathing. All right, so we got the 3 main sections at the top. We're going to come down to next section, which is going to be gratitude. And the thing you need to do here is focus on 3 different things that you are grateful for. They can be from your past, your present, your future, and you're basically, I'm bringing this over. Practice gratitude. Think of 3 things that you're grateful for right now. They can be from your past, your present, or your future. When you think of the first thing, create as clear image as moment as possible, stepping into your mind. After about a minute, go to the next thing, so forth and so on. You're going to do a 1-minute exercise. So basically, we're going to make a list of 3 things that we're comfortable about, or grateful for, and practice gratitude. So basically, it's going to be, we're going to start by doing we're going to do 3 across. We're going to number them and leave them blank for, so let's do 4. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that over here. And 3 things I'm grateful for. And so basically I'm going to go ahead and put this in here at bold. We're going to bring this up to 15 and match the headers, or the headings. And then let's go ahead and move this back to Caviar Dreams to match the top header, and we're going to do the same with these. All right. So you're going to practice the 3 things you're grateful for. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to actually stretch this out to make these sections a little bit bigger than normal. And then we're going to just put 1. And let's go ahead and make that 15. 2. Make that 15. 3. And make that 15. All right, so we have a couple more things here left to do, and that is basically visualize So we're going to go ahead and put in visualize your body, mind, and spirit healing itself. Spirit healing itself and preparing for ultimate success today. All right, so this section, and we're going to go ahead and put this at we'll put 2 minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and make that bold. We'll take this to 15 and Caviar Dreams. The next thing is to think about 3 memories. Let's see, what is it? Is it 3? Feel energy. We're going to focus on 1 relationship that, there we go. Okay, so relationship that I'm grateful for. I'm going to take this to 15. We're going to go bold, Caviar Dreams. Relationship, we're going to go / friendship. And we're actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And we're going to all right, let's do this again. So I'm going to only do 1 row by 2. That way I can go ahead and we're going to make this section a little bigger. And then we're going to come underneath and I'm going to go ahead and put focus on a positive outcome for the day and prepare to dominate. All right, so this is just going to be the basic layout. So we got this section here. The next section is going to be the notes page. So we're going to make sure we delete that and we have everything set. I missed, if you can tell, right now this is set for the right page, so I'm going to need to break this down and put that there. And we're going to come down, make sure that everything lines up good down here. Everything looks good to me. So now I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to Command C or Control C, and then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to put the cursor here, and now if you come up and look, it gives you a blank page. So we can go ahead and let's make sure. All right, so we got the blank page there. So we're going to go ahead and try this again. Actually, let's get rid of all this first. All right, so let's all right, so we got this. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, to the end of this and to the top of this. So we're going to go ahead and all right, so we have a few of these set up. We have, and it's same setting on all the pages. So instead of worrying about anything major, we're going to go ahead and come all the way to the top now that we have a few of these done. Skip the blank page, and now we're going to just start at notes, and we're going to highlight all of this, and then we're going to copy and paste again, do the same thing, and I'm going to put this at 200 pages. So that way it's not super big, but it's enough, well, maybe more. So let's go ahead. I'm going to continue to do this, make sure there's enough to get through. So I'm going to put, we're at 311 right now. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to come up to the top of this page. We're at 306. So this would be page 306, 305, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see how this works. So we're going to get rid of all these. All right, there we go. We're at 300. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to back this up. And now I have all of my pages together. I'm going to go ahead and at this point, I'm going to click File. I'm going to go ahead and save ODF format. And then I'm going to title it Priming Planner Final. Click Save. Once that saves, I'm going to click on this PDF icon to export it out to PDF. I'm going to come into Desktop and I'm going to save here. So now I have, boom, I have the PDF, so I can come into Create Space here, and I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Actually, no, I have the interior file ready, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Browse. We're going to go to the desktop, and we're going to click on Priming Planner Final and Open. This is going to go ahead and put in everything. We're going to click Save, and it's going to automatically go through with their software and process it, look at it all, and make sure that it's good for printing. Sorry, I had to get me a drink of coffee. 90% of the time, this is going to tell you from the get-go how everything sits. If it works, things of that nature. If anything's outside of the printable area, if you need to change something, you know, whatever. Of course, by the time you submit, if you're working on an actual book, I highly recommend that you get it proofread. I can't tell you how embarrassing it is when you have massive grammar issue or misspelling or words that end up in the book that you didn't plan on because it kind of sits flush with something and the autocorrect changed it to something else. And I'm speaking from experience. It's horrible because then you have to unpublish it from Amazon, redo the files, re-upload it, and then you're looking at a week to 2 weeks before you can sell your book again. So make sure you get it right from the get-go when you upload it. But basically put, this is, you know, and as you see, it's going to take a few minutes. So now we can go ahead and click on this and start working on the cover for your book. This is going to open up the next page. I'm going to go matte. Personally, I think matte is 10 times better. I like the look and feel of it. It's kind of got a suede finish to the top of it. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to click Upload a Print Ready PDF Cover. I don't have a cover ready at this moment. We're going to have to create one. So I'm going to go ahead and put submission, click on Submission Requirements, and then we're going to come down here and click Download Cover Templates. And then you're going to select all the information that you selected in order to make sure you get your template right, so the spine lines up, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to do trim size. We're going to do, 8.5 by 11, number of pages. Let's come back here and double check on it. And on this we have 300 pages, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 300. Paper color white. Now build template. This is going to go ahead and create a zip file for you. We're going to go ahead and open this. This is going to create a file for you to actually
go through the process and make sure that, everything lines up perfect. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to go to downloads, and here is the template. So we have 8.5 by 11 black and white, and this image itself is a PDF. We have a PNG here. I'm going to go ahead and open up the PNG, and we're going to start working on it here. This is basically the way the template works. You need to make sure everything that you want your people to see are inside of these orange areas, which are your guidelines. Your barcode is going to automatically sit right here. Other than that, it's basically up to you to go ahead and get everything the way you want it. So the first thing I do when I do this, I'm going to go ahead and turn that into an editable layer. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go ahead and create the barcode box just so I have a good idea of where it's going to sit. Go ahead and change that out to white. I'm going to change the background layer. We're going to put this to flat black. So I'm going to go ahead and change this in CMYK, make sure it's true black, hit OK, and then I'm going to go ahead and back out here, turn that whole thing black. Now the next thing, and this is totally up to you if you wanted to do this, I normally come in here and drop the white down to make it transparent so I still see the guidelines, and then I'll just simply come in, select the area in between the guidelines, and delete it. Get rid of that nonsense. And I do this because I like keeping the guidelines up, but I don't like having all that information in there as far as like pages and whatnot. Keeps it so that I'm able to actually get it the way I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and deselect now. So if you look at it, you have these sections. You have your front cover, back of the book, and spine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. This is the basic layout that I have for the Success Planner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this, and there's a reason for this. I want to make sure it all looks the same. So I want to make sure that this line will work the same and be the same size, but I want to make sure that the hush area will fit and kind of look right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually move this under here. So I want to make sure it has, kind of even spacing here so we can zoom in and, kind of try to get the even spacing. And I'm using this just as a template. We're not actually using this file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. I have the Priming Planner logo here, so I'm going to go ahead and merge that together. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this, bring it over here, and we're going to color overlay to white. And now I just need to get it to size right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably make it a little bit bigger. So that should work. All right. So now that I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and line that up. Apply. So now that I know it's kind of in the right position, and that's the only thing I'm doing in the cover. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm going to go ahead and come in here, and I want to make sure I get this the same size, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to bring in a new layer underneath it. All right, so now that I have that, I'm going to actually double this or duplicate this, and I'm going to duplicate this for two things. One, I need to make sure this side is on. So we're going to come in here and make sure this is even. Then I'm going to take this out to the edge. And then I'm going to go to this one. Oh, we're going to have to apply. I'll come to this one. That. All right, let's try this again. Come to this one. We're going to grab it, and I'm going to slide it the whole way to the edge here. Let's take it all the way over so I don't have to worry about it messing anything up like it did here. All right, so now we're going to apply. And now we have the book the way I want it as far as the cover is concerned. The only thing left for me to do is add the Got Hush logo underneath here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Got Hush logo. Let's look at the image size. Okay, so I need to take that. There we go. Full width. So now all I need to do is copy it, bring it over into the book file, paste it. We're going to put this to white. And now we're going to center in between here. And I'm going to, after that, just put the website. So it's www.gothush.com. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually change this over. We have it set to caps. And then I'm going to redo this. And I'm going to change it to make sure it looks like the logo. So we're going to change this to Arial. And I'm going to take this and change it to black. There we go. Now it's just a matter of sizing right. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to play with this to get it sized right. And I'm going to bring this down here. Got it centered underneath here. I'm going to only make it a little bit smaller. I don't like that it's super, super huge. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this smaller. Center that in between the two. Back out. And there's my cover. I have the cover finished. So now that I have the cover, and if you want, you can choose to do stuff in the on the spine. So if you wanted to do, like for instance, one of the things you may like to do, some people like having, especially when you have stuff like this, if you're doing this a lot, you may want to have a section for you to notate, you know, if you've done 4 or 5 different books and they all have, you know, especially with Hush, they'll all have the same spines and stuff. So this way you can actually like go in there and put, you know, some sort of, you know, notation on what that is, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a white section in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave it like that just for notation purposes. That's going to be something that'll actually be notated, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit. There we go. So we'll just leave it like that. I'm going to go ahead and apply, and that is my cover. So now I'm going to go ahead and file. I'm going to do save as, and we're going to save this as a PDF. And the reason we use PDF is it's what they want. So anyways, you can go ahead and put it in as PDF. We're going to go to desktop, and I'm going to change this to priming planner cover. And I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go ahead and do all this. Save. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as a template because the document is currently, okay. Let that save for a minute. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as a Photoshop file as well because I'm going to use this for the basic template for all the other Hush magazines. As I redo the covers, I'm going to redo the Success Planner covers to include the Got Hush and all that other stuff. So that being said, now that I have the cover designed, we're going to come back in here and we're going to click here to upload the cover. And go ahead and select the cover, upload it, and click save. Now it's going to upload the cover. We got the interior done. We got the cover done. Now we need to click continue. We got everything good to go. Your book, you must complete your book's interior file before you continue this section. So we're going to come into the interior. It should be reviewed. I do not have Flash, so I can't actually launch the interior review for some reason. So we're going to go. I'm going to go ahead and upload that or update that real quick. We're on Windows, Chrome. Oh, it doesn't. Where's the There we go. Go ahead and get this going. Click here to troubleshoot. Alright, so let's make sure we're on site with the video or game. Left of the address. Okay, alright, so we're going to go back to create space. Log back in. I'm going to come into here. We're going to go into the interior and site settings. Flash allow. Alright, so let's try this again. So we're going to go ahead and refresh. Launch interior review. So as you saw, it said it couldn't find anything out of place. We're going to do a quick glimpse because it's a very simple project and it's not anything crazy. You should see everything in place. If it's good on one page, it will be good on all of them. So you're going to just look, you can zoom in if you want, look and see how it actually is going to look on the page. All right, so we can zoom back out. And then as you go through, you'll see it's the exact same thing on every page, which means should be good to go. The only thing I realized is I did not change the affirmation of the day. So that's something I'm going to have to do real quick. And we're going to have to, kind of come up with different things. Gonna have to figure that one out. But for right now, I wanted to show you guys the process. I'm not going to bore you with the time as I go through and edit that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see if I can get this moved forward. And we're going to go ahead and close Interior Reviewer. That way I can at least show you guys what it looks like once it's actually printed. And all that fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead and click Skip Interior Reviewer. Click Yes, Skip. And now click Continue. And at this point, double check all the information and make sure it's correct. And then click Submit Files for Review. And now that you've done this, you are good to go. It's going to take a day or so. Most of the time I see, I'll get the email that they've approved the book for print. Normally within about 6 to 8 hours, depending on what time I submit it. Since it's still in the morning, there's a very good possibility it'll be ready for print probably by about 4 or 5, in which case I can go ahead and submit order for a proof just to make sure everything's ready. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and submit this. In the meantime, I'm going to work on adding the affirmations to the top of each page, and then I'm going to resubmit this. I'll document the process as far as once I get the approval email, once I upload the new document with all of the affirmations on it. So that way you guys can see how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. And you're not going to be able to touch anything once you start that as far as how you want everything to go. Changing files or anything like that cannot be touched until the review is complete. So make sure you got everything done. The next thing is you're going to have to basically choose the channels you want it to go to. So you can come in and you can choose each of the different things. Normally I keep it on Amazon.com and Amazon Europe. So we're going to keep those two selected. I normally don't do anything else. I'm going to just go ahead and click Save and Continue. And the next thing you're going to be doing, and I want to just kind of look into this real quick. So we're going to go to Amazon.com, and I'm going to show you the way I have my books listed right now. So I'm going to go ahead and CJ Halleck. And you're going to see, so if you have the bigger books, matter of fact, I think I got them all like super cheap. Aside from my actual books, the Stay Boosted book and the Reach for the Stars book, the rest of them are all set right at $10. So as you're looking through this, I wanted to show you what this actually means. So if I go $10 on this and calculate, this is going to show you the royalties. So with Amazon.com at that price, I'm only making $1.55 per book. So it's not like I'm getting loaded and super rich. And you could choose to go up on it. If you wanted to do 15, it's a 300-page book. It's a huge book. When they get it, they'll be able to feel it. kind of, and even then it's only $4.55 per book. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that at 15 because it is one of the bigger books. Let's do $12.97. So that's going to give me $3, and that works perfect. That was my division number in boot camp, 333. So anyways, I got that done. I'm going to go ahead and click on save and continue. Then the next thing is going to actually to go through the oh, we don't need this. I already did this. So we're going to save and continue, and now we're going to do the description. And this is something, you can do up to 4,000 characters. It's totally up to you how you put this together. I'm going to actually come back in at a later time when I actually have time to write this up. And then, of course, you want to do your category. So you can choose a category. And I'm going to actually look for, it would be under self-help. Personal growth. Happiness. Choose this category. All right, so now that I have that, you can do author biography, all this other stuff. It's totally up to you. Like I said, I'm going to come back and redo the description at a later moment. I'm going to go ahead and save this for right now. And of course, it's wanting you to enter the title's description. This is a priming exercise workbook for All right, that's good enough. All right, so we got that in there. I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Continue. And the next thing is once it reviews, you'll be able to go through and, if it's an actual book, like this workbook isn't going to help with the Kindle. But if you're wanting to do something with Kindle, if you're doing a book that's good for that, this is where you would move forward with that. But that being said, that's how I go through and put my stuff together. We got the interior file. So you can download the PDF as an interior file here. The cover is still being checked, so it's not going to show anything there. But like I said, once I get the email and get the affirmations changed, I'll go ahead and share with you guys how I do that. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Have yourself a great day. Be great. Stay boosted. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.